I'm best sample out my best reps. Now, according to FIFA, the greatest ever World Cup. Ebeba so you kiki of but pair and near mom they do go akwamu. Every article be FIFA betro bia no o start so ready a Lianata eye nianimu no bi no the greatest ever World Cup. So akwa to say FIFA na kasa na wasaso abiem, and from the prelims, because the prelims na it's literally Club World Cup boy no na FIFA catch say or they try niema 1-2 say the ya World Cup na kasa ne be draw no and niema ball FIFA so be brace so 1-2 testing mic 1-2 no and na Club World Cup na FIFA ma boy no so what check ya ye ma ye de hu ahia ya yes Africa you busa say hwan mo na omokwa kugire ye na mu we all know say South America, Europe there e be do final no 4 no yaw anya bia no mu reps ho but yeah was here group stages to kwa kitenkete na group stage round of 16 100 there who here pa from the continent akuku damakasi deservedly omo perform so much no ya ori atu dwa bebre but for contest 6 South Africa enra na omo akwa copy ho of course South Africa dey omo copy ho ma enya nyina ye de since 2002 ya omo ho okay. But in between that, they've been the first ever country on this continent to host 2 World Cup. Single-handedly, Obian one man do application back to FIFA best status or can you free continent to Israel. Egypt have tried. Algeria, Munya fair try. South Africa single-handedly and we host to the rest of the world. To the amusement of everybody, World Cup is superb from the opening match to the last kickoff. Memories barely bet me fade off from your mind. Okay, the Wajine coach South Africa from the Shabalala go. Dia. Every time we can World Cup, we feel say South Africa should be there. And look. The last time I'm AFCON semi-final, the one Congo for the Korea, you feel said that should have formed the basis of South Africa or more arise.
Yes.
Now, 3 points here now. Normally, so to Kayete free. Imagine who go Bruce Jumawaye, South Africa and Timmy and Kubia. What would have been the case? More quality players, and you're one of the countries that we North Africa for the fins is in China. More respected the domestic players in the power. Yeah, you domestic players now. In Central for cry for us, sometimes I come on our church as a domestic local league, you know. Now to be professionals. Yes, we league professional. It's being recognized by FIFA. But who say come on attend no baby jet musa le person professional for number na we mu. So we try to understand, but South Africa is just a contrast. And to me, I feel so much here. Algeria mo have control you. And quiet and check they still have the basis, the foundation of that squad, you know. Baghdad na German squad no Baba J AFCON. Algeria parody a beautiful squad. Led by Riyad Budabuz, captain for Kabili. He's part of Algeria squad now. Ayman Mehayos. All these boys in Algeria put it together. Performance. I don't say group LED. They have top quality on the continent. Algeria. You can also convert the story here time but you also count Ivory Coast, Egypt for the me. Many can enjoy ticket in the why some crew of one say.
We are going to take it to Robaji.
Yeah.
Are they?
Egypt for the Club World Cup. National team football. What do you pay free continent to Israel? You go almost more Salah more Liverpool. No, Egyptians would want to see an iota of it in their colors. Be against other top guys. And last time I showed Mo Salah brilliantly featuring for the side, no, which major tournament? Oba just as another player. But this Liverpool player, he becomes the face of the project. For a long time, we'll be able to. So Egypt, they are collectively, many normal be me control. We all know how Africa have been supporting your countries, you know, but yeah, for hope we share Egypt move be Morocco last time, you know. And come Morocco squad no, they've maintained literally everything in their squad from last 4 years and everybody. From Yassir Bonu, the goalkeeper, could see the last man in the final third. And the series. Technical team changes when I console. Walid Regragui is still there. Confidence wise, they trust him. So Morocco be there. And U20 no Akomia has a lot on that. What the basis of form of the national team we say? My football. Now, person, but yes, and I've learned something throughout this qualifying. Say free club World Cup. If we are saying, people are disgruntled by the attitude of a more top police coming. Youth, and you may be how youth, and so omunyak asutie fo wouldn't be on way. What say club World Cup na US or more routes? Okay.
Yeah.
What is the Morocco?
Yes.
I'm protesting against the king. Oh, you one of the top countries.
Also, say as a stadiums now does mean we also here hospitals.
Now, in Bravo, those demonstrations, I do Bra Morocco, my Niger to say the football now, air tourism. I'm a doma by your crew, I tell you, Moko Spain, Moko Portugal. No man focus no. Socially, and you might jigu, health, electricity, and so for the and they have begun speaking against the leadership of Morocco. And so, I'm not a socialist, but as a sports analyst, by imagine one kasan, I the performance of these Moroccan guys. Or what do the last stage of their performance? And I know what came to Club World Cup. What is beyond Club World Cup in terms of club football?
And on national team now, Crown put your mind on the map because the last World Cup said you will be a baby Morocco because Omasha Giants nobody could do the semis. You understand?
Yes.
I could place it fourth. Whole world do.
Hey,
32 teams.
Yes.
And you know, be able Morocco be other matters. But remember we are singing about Morocco din baby. These players at the national team now could do.
Perfectly right.
But said the canano. The oh yena will see be our power the near bono. Obi so per hospital. Obi so per roads.
Assembly na sani pano strategically. When you ban and kasa. It bra how woba krum hana yeba bono for 9th time during night in Morocco. Mran teriti abonte be say you're a champion for say and you must say but that's not to dampen the spirit of the national team. National team acquired the rightful time in their history, and I feel say Tunisia they are more me bomb the animal bonnet to have you. I don't mean from them said they are the first African country to win at the World Cup. 78 and not make catch 1-3-1 against Mexico. But Tunisia shame cries Senegal. In my little opinion, Juma Aliou Cisse as an active player, being the captain of the side. Japan, Korea 2002. Through Hono so how. And was a leading side na bedidi a chess assistant coach I know after Ababe first city. Above come final went to me anje. Only Nigeria the call final back on the following season was about FBM. Obano Babaji. Yeah, after so J AFCON no. So Dwendwene Seriga bakose mudia enka quarter final na ye ko ho a dey bose they had already been there. But Madrid Chemisa final Aliou Cisse na dwuma na kasa na okowo wi a obetumi apepa inside the sinchen. Well, when you have what is left? Now, Shadrach Benya and the template from Senegal on Famame. Look at their squad. They have one of the best squads in the world. Not on the continent alone.
And Sir Everton boy, no. The friend almost have one kind in Jai. Waiting born in the eye. Now, Bobby will made the for foul be a uncle go. Now, Everton guy.
Go through this.
So, Papa Matasa, Drissa Ganagay. The experience about DI Krapin Diata Niakate any Koulibaly Khalidou and after Diouf Edouard Mendy Jackson Nico Ismail Assar Sadio Mane. No one here is a beginner.
Lineup with him. These are all achievers.
Not to me.
You can call it perennial achievers, but Obi already third on the Ballon d'Or list. Lineup with him. Mendy. Also, a Champions League winner, Koulibaly
Sanche best goalkeeper.
Yeah, lineup we say okay say o manenko World Cup. I mean, your continent and bro. I want Senegal to be there, but the hand common. Apart from a case for my boy, no, nothing for summer, one slot to say. You bet me the Bakubia Babes, so no moment, not yet. Carvo, no Kona be. Yes, Susima, 4 countries in our qualified now, walkable player for Nigeria, Cameroon, Congo, and then Gabon. Nigeria for the more so Victor Osimhen so crowd me Jobia and pass some credit. Say the best striker. Yes, we know. But why are they now telling Osimhen say he's the best striker? Because of hat-trick now. Obi Ojika Pukanonieri last energy. Italian best striker how many years in it? Are we now telling the guy is the best striker after just a hat-trick? He should have done the job at the time who here. A bit of time Ghana and Nigeria born no leading line in 2 games, you know. Osimhen should have stood out. Nigeria no adimulale see from. In the final no more born anu here no money Ivory Coast Osimhen no here fa. True to come when now go 40 minutes or so and San Microphone bet in the second half the back account. Sebastian Haaland the back account. Where was Osimhen? The critical moment of his career now national team here. He hasn't shown up. I feel like Jesus more na utesi for my. How do we share 50 billion krana? Yes, I come one ba. I'm going to say, yeah, 4 reps, you know, yeah, I face Oceania, North America, Asia, almost so reps, South America, count Bolivia, be free on the now, I share those countries now. Asia for no, Iraq, UAE, North America, near Panama, Costa Rica, Curacao, South America, Bolivia, just as I said, New Caledonia, now, okay, Mickey, or we can't move through Oceania, but in common, say, Costa Rica for no between stop Nigeria or any African country. Now, I am say, your book, your woman, you can see, your born Nigeria, your money, Costa Rica, this is the uprising of their second generation in the last 20 years. Second generation, I'm sorry. You've brought me to a very good junction in this conversation. 2014, General Mobile, they killing us one neighbor. Christian Gamboa, Gonzalez, Oscar Duarte. Look, Oscar Duarte in 2014, no. Every single discussion in terms of centre backs, about discussing account, middle of the pitch, Ubenya Brown Eruse. And then in the final third, Upla Nabundi and Joe Campbell. Now, when my DSC 2014, no. Obusha England, Obusha Italy. Uruguay. All these coaches will show me change your idea. From Italy, Zep Prandelli bought 4-1-4-1. And the mistake of his career could bought 5 midfielders in order to accommodate De Rossi as a lone pivot in the 4-1-4 because Balotelli and LED line. I don't know Pilo no bomb Akisu. Antonio Candreva, Thiago Motta, 5 midfielders of 4 rows. A crofona to 10 passer. Bonucci Chiellini. They got cracked. Buffon. And it was the last days of this Italy Azuris, national team, no. And coincidentally, so Basaka said the last days of England. I'm so about call you almost a pass. I know 0-0. Chris Smalling was squad. No, Phil Jones about right value show. Gary Cahill, Lampard, Nija Koshe, Adam Lallana, more squad. No, sorry, the lady 0-0. Uruguay check Uruguay lineup no. Diego Lugano move me for Christian's 20 double pivot. Godin were children movie. Godin has been touted say we rock junior for Brazil Syria, South America near or boy chira Wontumi sign ho abron fan ho count. But look, what was the scoreline? 3-1 from Costa Rica. Joe Campbell after that had that deal to Arsenal. And it was a big moment for Costa Rica. A free yaw 2014 2018 2022 and Crofone Saba. It's a month for New Caledonia, Basso, oh my idea, check island, Ketua, by being free banner, and Rabiki Canina. Yes, so true. Beautiful football story. But Costa Rica for the bit stop Nigeria and Cameroon for an anti better points. I'm more found. It's about 2 games. So, Morocco, 13th, 16th. Oboria and San Wasako train. Yeah. But who say Eric Shirley Kasa say or no do to me the team record the next AFCON crown. Madrid challenge say flower no yeah no so if they can maneuver their way and sneak to the World Cup through that it is good.
And also Nigeria for no happy say or man make even the playoff.
Oh yeah, it would have been can I say
just imagine Sankebia Black Stars near Baby Drew maybe Nigeria Baby Drew. Saint me qualify, but just Yakubu 2 games in Morocco. Now, possibly, see it me Rinia Yakwaka train intercontinental playoff next year match.
The one intercontinental near say also 6 teams.
Yeah,
and
two
qualify. Now the 10 years say omo the FIFA rankings nebe for 2 normal beti omo na 4 no mo ase na bomo. As it stands, we have Bolivia money Caracao mo no qualified the banner teams ne room na. It looks like if Nigeria, I'm using if because we be able to see playoffs in Morocco. If Nigeria should qualify to the playoffs, or may you sue the FIFA rankings October the year or more 2030 the year no more the be. So Sanya di jina dia and Shana Nigeria where any more change. Most of the nations no make people with the intercontinental level. No. At that rate, Nigeria beat me at and what Jinas row.
Bolivia says Utianya now Konya Bolivia. On crew on Bobo game no.
There be almost home and away.
No, I'm not saying say Mamiche say no what building a home den or day bow.
No pampe.
Omo bomb reo.
We endure inside. To me now could go Mexico ma. We are only hoping say
Nigeria say Curacao, Costa Rica, Bolivia.
Oh,
but the direction, no.
And I make us say, yaw, a bus near the FIFA rankings, and also, yeah, in my favor, if Nigeria should go through, a bit me favor Nigeria, the Nigeria Makuj now. There's a money charm, a mama, momo, I'm a 2 number a day. I'll be sure, mom, be sure.
Nigeria, no, Gabon, careful.
No, they are, or they are doing one, no, the Gina Fakosa. But I think, sir, we are all underrating the quality of a team like DR Congo in these discussions. Aye, also, funny, say, teams now qualified in Nigeria, Gabon, Cameroon, DR Congo. Obi abo Gabon, obi abo Ivory Coast, obi abo Cameroon. But then at DR Congo, you throughout the qualifiers, no yaw. You underrate them at a certain level, Bia.
So, in my opinion, a long trip. And besides, Congo, Gabon, Nigeria, pairing all these 4 countries, okay, the imagine say the pressure one or so at this moment, Cameroon, Nigeria, based on history. Based on history. I do World Cup, everything is about history. Everything. What could be done? You envisage, you imagine what has been there. Dear Nkwane or hot, it's a Cape Verde. And what could be done? Last time I visited, I was try say over collecting idea. So based on history, pressure on Nigeria. So they've been sending better squads. Okay, US 94 Nigeria squad, top squad. And of course, Cameroon there, Mono Italian 90. Look, one beautiful thing about African football is that every major World Cup will be anybody show up on another country will show up on y'all. You're quite in Koguya when so yeah, 400 years obi abako PMBR no good, but in my opinion, me Nigeria and Kwamepe. Menya na Cameroon ko. Nigeria abakwa komo contem. And now Osimhen so call World Cup no baba ha.
Osimhen dey almost starting no proud.
Baba ha kudus.
Almost started qualifies no proud.
Yeah.
Nti na ma omo nya no quick no.
So excuse me bro.
No. Me say o time now you know because na Galatasaray deal no creba be official no na so
yeah. Omo say Osimhen baby ogina no. So call World Cup we perform kakra we have cross kudus African best no. Oh no. But Cameroon be anya nyiniti
African best no kudus wo.
Oh, the oya wo England dey say onya kakra so World Cup obeba mo. Yeah. And now who say
oh okay.
England dey say sorry you. Yeah. African album. Onya kakra bi so
World Cup. Super Cup ni bi. UEFA Super Cup.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, oje. Ana oje. Okay.
Onya kakra bi so World Cup African best no. Yeah, na look ma dey na ba mu.
This isn't the look man.
Me kado buy no cry. Say
Atlanta Europe no.
Yeah, na Europe they say tani na Tony Eboa mo wan ko kan mo so. Look, wan ko kan wa Arsenal mo nyina no.
Say no obi be so hu di ntia Nigeria kwa kobo playoffs ni bi. Say no na. I was here di kan chire mo no because